Welcome back everyone for another Thursday battle plan, or kind of our weekly expectation at this point. This is the fifth one, June 9th, 2016. And in this one, the big news is the requeue. So this is something a lot of people have been asking about, and Gearbox has delivered on this, which is a pretty cool deal and a pretty big deal. I also never expected this in a hotfix. I thought this would be a patch item, but they're able to do it, which is awesome. So what this is when you group up with the randoms, you can just stay in there, and after 20 seconds, you'll just start another one. So this is really cool for both story and PvP. If you find a group that you enjoyed playing with, you can just stay with them. But also, since you stay in there, sometimes, like after the match, you kind of want to talk about it with those teammates that you just played with, but all of a sudden you're all separated and you can't discuss it. So that also, even if you don't want to keep playing with them, you might want to, maybe not, hopefully not in a dickish way, but you can just kind of type a few things like, hey guys, good job, see you later, or, maybe constructive things like, hey, when three of us are dead, don't get a thrall, just go defend our sentry. You can kind of give feedback there. So this is really cool, really awesome, really happy about that. So next, hotfixes, even though it's kind of a part of the hotfix, they didn't list it with them. So this week, quite small, blah, blah, blah. You guys can go through and read this on the forum. They started putting a time when the hotfixes are coming out, which is really cool. We've kind of figured that out, knowing that it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern time. Or 12 p.m. Pacific time. I am Central time, so for me it would be 2 o'clock. So with these, they increase the max health of Chronicle in the archive by 50%. Now they already went through and increased all your stationary ones, like in the Renegade and the Saboteur, and a bunch of those, but we thought it was odd that they didn't give it to Chronicle or in the archive. They still haven't given it to your spider tank, which I am drawing a blank on the name in the algorithm. Sorry, Void's Edge. Keep thinking of Jeff, but that one you can heal, so it's not as big of a deal. The archive one could die pretty easily, so this is cool. The next one is kind of a blah. Fixed a visual issue with Thorn's level 10 left helix, Wild Judgement. Visual things, and it's cool it's fixed, but whatever, I don't really care. But I do want to talk about reactions. So last week's one, there was, I think, 3 visual issues fixed, and one of them was the way the snow looked on a map, and that's kind of become a buzzword, though. You're patching snow and not other things? Fuck you, Gearbox. And I want to kind of talk about that process. There isn't one person working on fixes. There's a whole team that works on fixes. And full disclosure, I am not in software development. That is not my career. That is not my job. I don't do it. I don't know how to do it. I do, however, have friends in it. And this isn't like Gearbox employee friends. This is just friends that work in software development. No connection to Gearbox at all. But within these teams, you usually, when issues come in, they assign them to different people, and sometimes individual people, and sometimes it's a team of people. But different things are distributed to different people that need to be fixed. Now, on some of these FX and visual issues, they're very easy fixes, and sometimes they're not, but what they'll do is a lot of their easy fixes go to their less experienced people, or, solo people that can kind of fix them easy on their own, and some of the more complicated ones will go to the more experienced people or a team of people. But always just throwing more bodies on one fix doesn't always speed it up. Sometimes that actually slows it down. So just because they're fixing the way the snow looks or a visual issue with Wild Judgement does not mean they're not working on other things. And it also doesn't mean that taking that manpower to fix those visual issues onto those issues would help it. Some of the other things people, character balancing. Now, yes, in a hotfix, they can easily just change a number of a character's numbers within their helixes or skills or whatnot. But those also take testing to make sure they got it right, and they take testing to find out what they should change with it. And those things, while the coding side of it isn't difficult, the process of making sure that right is difficult and takes time. So bring it down a notch, everyone. Just because they fix snow or the look of Wild Judgment does not mean they're not working on these other things. And also, some people saw this like, that's all you did? You did 2 things in the week? Well, first, they put the 2 bullet points, but changing the queue system was also on there. But no, that's not all they did. You know, they're working on the new DLC characters and DLC maps and skins and taunts and new PvP modes and new PvP maps. And they're working on all these other issues that have been reported, and they're working on things we don't know about. And that's not all the entire company Gearbox did in a week, okay? So again, bring it down a notch. So the frustrating thing about this is, like, I saw the same crap with Borderlands. Like, every time they put out a fix with Borderlands, it was, why didn't you fix this? Why are you doing that and not this? This is a bigger deal. Things are not all equal. Certain things take longer, certain things aren't. You know, this is our 6th hot fix, and we've had 2 patches. We're doing pretty good for getting those things. Like, do I want other things fixed? Yes. Do I wish those things were fixed yesterday? Yes. But I'm not going to get myself upset every week at the battle plan because there's only a few things on it. Again, these are weekly. I don't think any of us are used to weekly fixes. In most games I see, like, you'll see maybe a patch every 6 months or whatever. Weekly things are kind of unheard of. So you should expect like 3 to 5 bullet points of hot fixes, not 20. And if you're expecting 20, every week you're going to be pissed off. Just expect 2 or 3, or 3 to 5 things on there. And usually with those 3 to 5, there's going to be a couple that are kind of insignificant, depending on how many are on there. You know, there are just going to be some little fixes that just seem kind of pointless, but those things need to get fixed too. And they put those with low resource things and they get done. They're just going to be there. So don't get upset about those. Don't think that those affect other things so much, because they really don't. Yeah, let's just not be like those irrational overreactors that we saw in the Borderlands communities, of the people freaking out over all that stuff. Just bring your expectations back where they could be. We've seen 5 of these now. We have we should have reasonable expectations for what we're going to see in the ones going forward. Yeah, and if you do that, you're just going to be you're not going to be as mad or angry or stressed out. Like, why cause yourself more stress and anxiety when it's self-caused? It's like not the Gearbox fault you expect 20 things on this list when you haven't seen 20 things on any of these lists. Like, just expect, I would say, like 3 to 5. But that's it for this week. I just wanted to put that thing in the end about just like putting it all in perspective and expectations, and don't be that guy. Yeah, so see you all later. Bye.